Welcome to Live from Size Lounge, weekly conversations with alumni of Iowa State University. At the ISU Alumni Association, we strive to facilitate the lifetime connection of Cyclones everywhere, communicating, connecting, and celebrating Cyclone pride. This series is made possible thanks to the more than 43,000 members of the Alumni Association. If you are interested in staying connected to the university and receiving all the benefits and services of being a member, visit isualum.org to learn more.
Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Wednesday. Welcome into Live from Size Lounge. My name is Matt Van Winkle with the ISU Alumni Association. Before we bring on our guest today, we want to let you know about some items you can find in our online alumni store. We went with a pet theme today, which will make more sense here in just a little bit, but it is game week after all. So we've got this Iowa State pet jersey that will look great on your pets, on your pup, your cat. I guess you could put it on kind of any four-legged friend you have. So we have these jerseys for all sizes of animals, small to large, and prices vary on the size, but they start at $19.99. We've also got these cool magnets that can go on the back of your car. You've probably seen people driving around town with these on there. It says my dog is an Iowa State fan. So kind of a cool little magnet that you can throw on your car. And then lastly, we've got this sign that will look great hanging from your house, a wall. Just nice decor that incorporates two of your favorite things, your dog and the Cyclones. This sign is $11.99 in our online alumni store. So make sure to check out everything we have to offer you and your pets online. We have everything from water bowls to collars to dog beds. And as a reminder, members do get 15% off every day, plus no sales tax on all merchandise and apparel orders. For this and all the latest styles of Iowa State apparel and merchandise, go to isualum.org/shop. All right. Well, we are excited to welcome Lisa Uhl as our guest today. Some of you might remember her as Lisa Uhl when she was an 11-time NCAA All-American in cross country and track and field at Iowa State. Among being one of the most decorated athletes in Iowa State history, Lisa also competed in the 10,000 meters in the 2012 Summer Olympics. After graduating summa cum laude after only 3 years in Iowa State's biology program, she was accepted to ISU's veterinary program and completed her DVM degree in 2018. She also recently started a new position back here at Iowa State as a resident pathologist at the veterinary school and will officially be inducted into Iowa State's Athletic Hall of Fame in fall of this year. So please help me welcome Lisa Uhl to Live from Size Lounge. Hey, Lisa.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. So you were telling me just before we came on here that you have some exciting news. You are back here in Ames now.
Yeah, I am. Life's taken me down a couple turns and changes, honestly, throughout the last 10 years, but particularly in the last month or so. But I'm super happy to be back. My husband and I just moved back here about a month ago, and I kind of changed directions in my residency, and I'm starting a pathology residency here at the vet school. So yeah, super excited to be back.
That's really exciting. So I mentioned you graduated with your DVM in 2018. You were out in Colorado for a few years doing a residency. So how exciting is it for you to be back in Ames, where you competed and had so many memories here?
Yeah, it's really great. Ames has always felt like home to me. It's close to my true hometown is Fort Dodge, Iowa. So I'm an Iowan through and through. But Ames is really like where I feel like I grew up until like an adult. And I just have so many good memories here. I made so many of my best friends here. I met my husband here. My family's still close by. And we just have so many connections to the community and to the university here. It feels like being home.
Yeah, for sure. So talk about why you ultimately decided to pursue your DVM. Why did you decide to become a veterinarian?
Yeah, ever since it sounds really cheesy, but ever since I was a little girl, I was the one bringing home stray animals and stray things and trying to help the little creatures of the world. And I really knew it was what I wanted to do ever since I was a little kid. And then when I got into high school, I really loved the sciences as well. I loved biology and I really liked medicine. And then when I came to college, I was trying to decide between veterinary medicine and human medicine. And I had a lot of people pushing me to the human medicine route. They were like, you'll make more money and, all these things. But in my heart, vet med just always was what I wanted to do. It's a great combination of medicine and helping people and helping animals. So.
Yeah, for sure. So Iowa State graduates are really using their degrees to make their communities, their state, and the world a better place. How have you really been able to use your degree already to make an impact in your field?
Yeah, I like to think that I've made impacts in several different levels. So on a day-to-day basis, helping people and their pets. I spent 2 years out in Colorado. One of those years I spent doing a lot of emergency medicine work, which I feel like you help people through a lot of really hard times, and you help a lot of pets. And so that year in particular was a lot of the just seeing and helping people kind of one-on-one. And then additionally, working at a university, I was able to teach students and have students. And that was really one of my favorite parts of my job. I love teaching. I love giving back. And so to be able to teach is like another aspect that's been really important to me in giving back and helping mentor new veterinarians. And then when I think too about like not just using my degree, but really being able to utilize the skills that I got through my extracurricular activities too, like track and field and cross country. So a few years ago, I did a camp, actually, a summer camp for Iowa kids or Midwest kids that were in cross country, and just taught them about running and shared my experiences about running in the Olympics. And then I also frequently just give like talks to Iowa teams because it's very like grassroots for me. That's where I started running, was just my high school team in Fort Dodge. So to be able to give back in that way to the youth and to really share my experiences, I think it's really fun for me. I really like that part, feeling like a bigger part of myself.
Well, we listed some of your accomplishments as a runner here at Iowa State. Which one are you most proud of looking back on your career here?
Oh, that's tough. I think the one that I'm most proud of is probably the fact that I was just able to consistently be successful year after year. I struggled. I had a lot of injury issues in my fourth year. And it was not easy to kind of get back on the horse and really believe in myself. And I was really fortunate that I had the support system that I had to help me do that. So I think just like the consistency of being able to do what I did, year after year and pick up, 11 All-American accolades and 4 national titles, and to not just be one and done. It speaks to the support system that I had.
Are these pictures bringing back some memories?
Oh yeah, some good, some painful.
It was funny because you competed at a time, I guess, when social media was probably gaining some steam, when people were not necessarily online. It was really hard to find really good photos of you and videos of you because what people weren't spreading that all over the internet. So it's kind of fun to look back on some of these old pictures though.
Yeah, definitely. I remember Kyle and I, we were looking to try and find some for ourselves as well, to bank them so that we had them for later. And yeah, you have to do a little bit of a deep internet search for some of these.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine that running is as much of a mental sport as it is physical, and you really competed at the highest level. How were you able to stay so focused on some of the biggest stages?
I think a lot of it is practice. Just really, it's practicing to do that. So the focus during workouts, during every even day-to-day practice. I mean, distance running it's something where you have to do it every day or you get behind. So you have to be very strict and very methodical about your scheduling, and you can't miss your runs or miss your recovery or miss all those things. So every day is very regimented. So I think the training kind of sets you up for that. And then also, again, I had a support team that really helped me. My husband, Kyle, I met him here running. He ran on the men's team. And so he just understood the sport and understood my need to focus on that and what being a professional athlete was about. And so, so that was really helpful too.
Well, you qualified for the 2012 London Olympics in the 10,000 meter run, finishing 13th overall. What was that experience like running for the United States?
I still tell people I don't think that really happened. Like, I don't really believe that was me. It was incredible I remember, I mean, that year the Olympic torch was in the stadium. Like in the track stadium, the torch was there lit. So every lap that I came around, I'd see the Olympic torch, and it was like just such an incredible feeling and so surreal. And yeah, it's indescribable. I can't put it into words. It's something so special to me. And yeah, I just feel so fortunate to have had that opportunity.
So what is it about female distance runners from the state of Iowa? I mean, there's so many of them that we're hearing about in the news that are setting world records. It seems like every day. What is there something in the water in Iowa? I know you're from Fort Dodge. That's where some of those other girls are from, right?
I'm from Fort Dodge. Shelby Houlihan. You're probably thinking Jenny Behringer, now Simpson, who was born in Webster City. And then Shelby Houlihan, who is from Sioux City, and then Carissa, who's from
Schweizer, is that her name? Yeah.
Schweizer, yep. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's interesting. We've had this like stretch of women athletes from Iowa, but I think a lot of it is like we're taught to be very. I feel like the Midwestern attitude. This is like very generalizing, but I feel like the Midwestern attitude is like hard work, dedication, and that will take you places. And I think that's what distance running requires. It requires that, and it requires talent in order to be successful at that level. But I truly think that it's like, I know a little bit those women, not very well personally, but I know them a little bit, and I know their families, and I just know that they're very dedicated, strong-willed, very focused people, and I know what it takes to be a good distance athlete. And so, and I think you kind of have people where you see one person do it and then you believe that you can do it too, so I think having good examples helps too.
Plus the state is very flat. I guess you have lots of areas to run, and maybe that's the answer, right?
Probably the gravel roads.
That's right.
They're all off by a mile. It's really easy.
Not too hard to get. I guess it's easy to find your way in Iowa, right? We're all on a grid, right?
Yep, it's on the mile grid, so you can time yourself out.
That's right. Well, we did a story on you in our Visions magazine when you were a student here, and you said coming out of high school, you didn't really know much about running. Is there a specific moment or maybe a coach you had that was really kind of a catalyst in your career that really taught you about running?
It was probably my husband, actually. So he was a very, very good high school athlete. He won U.S. juniors when he was 19. Like he was a very, very good high school athlete. And we met freshman year. And I remember I was very jealous of how good that he was at track and cross country and running. And I wanted to be that good. And I asked him one day, I was just like, I don't know how are you so good? And I just don't really, I wish I could be that good. And he's like, well, you're not really trying as hard as you should. And so that was a little bit of a wake up call, but honestly, it was one that I needed. And so I really kind of reevaluated myself and picked his brain a lot because he knew a lot more about running than me. So picked his brain a lot. And again, I got surrounded then by a support system that just helped me focus on those things and become better at them.
Sure. Lisa, how have you been able to draw on your competitiveness as a runner in the work that you're doing now as a veterinary resident?
Yeah, I think vet school is competitive in general, trying to pass exams and learn everything and know what you're doing. And then I did an internship, so you have to try and qualify for these internships, and then residency positions, which aren't easy to get. So there is an inherent kind of competitive component to that. I think for me, it's also like dialing it back a little bit and turning it into a little bit more of a like healthy kind of learning environment. And so I think that competition just goes in like, how can I day to day make myself better and a better veterinarian instead of like a better athlete or a better runner? How can I make myself a better resident to my resident mates? How can I make myself a better resident to my faculty? How can I make myself a better resident to my patients? And then really like creating a new goal for myself every week.
Mm-hmm. Lisa, you're going to be inducted into the Iowa State Hall of Fame later this year. What does that mean to you personally?
Yeah, it's super special. I think they're postponing it technically to next fall.
Okay.
But yeah, but it'll still be like this year's class. But it's so special to me, the Hall of Fame. It's something that, like I said, I just feel so connected to this university. I feel like Kyle and I are just, we're constantly donned in Iowa State gear. It's part of my family. And so to feel like I've been appreciated by that family, and the Hall of Fame is actually selected by former Iowa State athletes. It's a selection committee. And last year was the first year that I would have been eligible. And so to be selected by them in the very first year that I was eligible, it just is like, it's a very humbling experience, because it just means that my accomplishments were, noted and appreciated by all of those people that have gone through the system for years and years. So it's very humbling. It's very special. It's like a very, like I said, it fits in like a very family place in my heart. So.
Well, and now you're back. You're back here in Ames, where you're going to be working again as a pathologist resident at the vet college. That's really cool. So tell, just quickly before we wrap up, tell people just more about that position and what you're going to be doing here for the university.
Yeah, yep. So I'm a resident in veterinary pathology. So my area of pathology is anatomic pathology. So basically what I do is I help determine what disease process ultimately caused an animal to have issues or death in a variety of species. And then I look at like biopsies under the microscope. So my residency is really in like investigating disease processes and what they do to the body on both a macroscopic or a big level, and also a microscopic or a small level. So it's really looking at the whole picture of a disease process. And then I'm also getting my PhD, so doing research in some very particular area of disease processes, and potentially how can we understand those better to prevent them.
Cool. Well, I know that the vet college is doing a lot of the COVID testing that's happening here in Ames and on campus. Are you involved with that at all?
I am not. No,
okay.
Not right now. But yeah, they've been very involved, and I think very helpful. And veterinarians are such a wealth of information when it comes to like how diseases work and how diseases are transferred amongst people and animals, and kind of their big global impact. And so it's really cool to see the vet college be so involved in something that's so important.
Right. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for taking some time for us today. Congratulations to you on your new position and being elected to the Iowa State Hall of Fame. That's a huge honor, and congratulations on that.
Thanks so much.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to watch the Cyclones this weekend too, right? I know there's no fans in the stands, but I think we'll all be cheering on the Cyclones here, right?
I'm planning on it. I was going to say, Rocco. Here. I was going to say my dogs are ready too, so I might have to get them one of those cute.
You might need to get Rocco one of these.
I know. Come on, buddy.
We have a goal. Oh, there you go. Look at that. All right. Well, our dog has a little bandana too, the yellow bandana with the Psy logo. So we'll have to throw those on this weekend and do the home tailgates, right?
Yep. Yeah, we're all ready. And then my son is ready too. We have an 8-month-old son now. So
Well, congratulations on that as well.
thanks.
All right. Thanks, Lisa. Have a great day. Okay.
Oh, you too.
All right. That is Lisa Uhl. And we quickly, before we wrap up, we want to let you know about our guests for next week. We want to let you know that we're going to have Michelle Monroe joining us. Michelle is a 2013 graduate in Child, Adult, and Family Services and is now the Executive Director of the Abundant Life Foundation, creating opportunities in the Bay of Honduras. That will be next Wednesday, September 16th, right here, live from the Size Lounge. Thanks so much for joining us today, and go Cyclones.